I'm thankful that you did me wrong, cause now I got it right, I promise you gon' miss me gone. I done seen it all like the first picture phone. They wishing on my downfall with the wishing bone. Now unless you on cloud 10, on that route, how you on the motherfucking word? What's good, y'all? It's yours truly. Once again, Heartbreak Ace. You familiar with my content or not? Hit that like, comment, subscribe so the algorithm can get this breaking content every time I upload. I remember the good old days, man. You know what I mean? Where everybody liked each other. About around the time when it was like my president was black, my blow was blue, and I be goddamn, they ran was too. You know, nowadays, I don't know what to call it, man. Everybody hating on each other and all that. The algorithm don't want to get y'all these videos. And every video I have to tell y'all that I'm about to snuck that nigga, man. Nah, topic of discussion on why we here. As you know about my channel, if you're familiar with my channel, anything that I think dealing with the culture, I speak about it. And if you ask me, dealing with a president, even though they don't give a two fucks about us, it's still about the culture. Especially when it's dealing with democracy. I'm not saying that's where I am, republic or democracy, but I will tell you, Joe Biden has reported in a letter, he did it like a little punk. He couldn't even come with a video first. He did it like a punk and made a letter and has reported that he stepped down in the race as running for president. That's right. Before I speak on it anymore, you already know what we doing. We see an op on the block. We don't sit there, we spin it. Spin the block.
Former President Trump holding his first campaign rally since a gunman opened fire on him last weekend as he was speaking to a crowd in Butler, Pennsylvania. You are looking at video of that assassination attempt that left 4 people shot, including the former president. Do want to pop this up for you right now as Fox's Brian Yennis now reporting that a Secret Service counter sniper took the shot that killed the gunman, Thomas Matthew Crooks, saying that he could only see Crooks' scope and the top of his eye and forehead because of the slant of the roof. Yennis saying it was all described to him as a, quote, 1 in a million shot. In the meantime, several investigations are now underway to determine how this happened and the motive behind the attack, with the head of the Secret Service set to testify next week in front of Congress. To get some perspective on all of this, I do want to bring in Jillian Snyder.
And I'm trying to, Worm. Niggas are broke these days.
I don't think you applying yourself, Smokey.
Huh?
He is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race in a stunning letter that was just released moments ago by his campaign on X, formerly known as Twitter. Biden wrote, quote, that it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. He goes on to say that he will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about his decision. Just a stunning announcement from President Joe Biden that he intends to step down as a candidate in the 2024 election. I want to go straight to CNN White House correspondent Priscilla Alvarez, who was traveling with President Biden in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Priscilla, what are you learning?
Alex, this is a remarkable development, and it comes after a morning in which we heard more calls for the president to step down from members of his party, including, for example, Senator Joe Manchin. Now, the president in this letter released only moments ago walks through his accomplishments as president. And also, if I can read you this part, it says, "It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president." He goes on to say, "While it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term." He goes on to say he plans to speak to the nation later this week. He also thanks Vice President Kamala Harris for, quote, being an extraordinary partner in all of this work. Now, of course, Alex, this comes after that disastrous debate performance by the president in late June. It was after that stoked so much anxiety and panic within the Democratic Party and led to a wave of calls over recent weeks for the president to step aside, to withdraw from this race. And this was something that, despite the president getting back on the campaign trail, despite private conversations with multiple lawmakers, and despite a campaign that up until this point had been maintained, even just yesterday, that he was in this race, it appears that we hit that breaking point. Now, of course, the president has been at his residence here in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. He has been self-isolating because he was diagnosed with COVID earlier in the week. It was that diagnosis that pulled him off of the campaign trail at a pivotal moment. He was in Nevada. He was shoring up support with Black and Latino voters. And it was before one of his last events that he got that positive COVID diagnosis and had to be blitzed back here to the East Coast, to Delaware, where he has since been self-isolating. It has been during that time that he's also been deliberating. He is with his closest advisors and his inner circle in what has been a challenging and at times frustrating time for this campaign. Now, we should also note, Alex, that earlier today on the airwaves, the president's allies were saying that he was in it to win it. Again, this was the resounding message that we were getting from the campaign time and time again. But this letter tells us that the president, upon self-reflection, upon all of the calls from Democratic lawmakers, allies, and donors for him to step aside, has listened to those calls and has decided to not seek re-election in what we really just cannot overstate how remarkable a moment this is. We are on the cusp of the Democratic National Convention. There have been ongoing calls to get that process underway for that virtual roll call. And now so many open-ended questions as to what happens next. We should note Vice President Kamala Harris was at a fundraiser in Massachusetts yesterday, where she too was focused on the vice presidential nominee for the Republicans, J.D. Vance. She was trying to gin up those donor dollars amid some donors deciding not to give money because of all the questions of this campaign. Of course, we'll keep eyes on her. She is in Washington, D.C. today. Many questions moving forward. But one thing has been answered, Alex, and that is that the president will not seek re-election after what has been multiple Democratic lawmakers and allies coming forward to say it was time for him to withdraw. Alex?
Yeah,
Oh, you almost had it. You got to be quicker than that.
Pushing like no paperwork has been changed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
All right, y'all, we back. We spent the block one time. Hope y'all ain't dizzy. You really shouldn't be. Now, is we really surprised?
Oh, you almost had it.
Come on, man.
You got to be quicker than that.
You see, like this much for him croaking over anyway. And I don't care what nobody say. He might have came out with that little statement and all that. But I think he saw that he was losing his race. He tried to send in some warning shots to Trump. And Trump wasn't backing down. I think that sniper, he might have been a Republican, but he might have been paid by Joe Biden. I believe they just going at it, man. Who knows? You see Trump, man, he coming here making his speeches with the Band-Aid on his ear, man. He thugging it out. He coming out with 50, like, he keeping it thuggish. He want to come out with 50, I should say the least, my bad. And 50 was at his show, basically with the picture of him on the wall and all that, man. Joe Biden did a bright thing, man. You wasn't going to win anyway. And whoever you trying to give the credibility to run for this, don't matter. They not beating Trump. It was always going to be this way. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. Because between the two, I prefer to beat Trump, man. I'm sorry. You know? A lot of people going to feel a way about that. That's cool. I mean, everybody entitled to their own opinion. But I be damn well if I wanted to be Joe Biden. He not even for democracy. So, he only ran for democracy because we already know on the Republican side that was Donald Trump. And I don't care about whatever is whatever. Whoever help our people is who I'm rocking with. And none of them really care about us like that, period. But in the history I can remember, it probably was, what, Reagan, Bill Clinton, Obama, and whether you want to admit it or not, Trump that did anything for the people, our people. Some did more than others. Some actually did more than Obama, even though he was of the culture, but it is what it is. But that grumpy old man, it's time for him to go, man. Cause he gotta go to the chiropractor, all that, man. He try to come and it's hard for him to stand up straight he like this on the podium. You know, it's unexcusable, you know, in this race. What happened to Donald? And I'm gonna try to get him on the telephone, and nigga so out of date, man. This nigga said, I'm gonna try to talk to him on the telephone and try to get back with y'all, man. Like, you know it's time to go, man. You can't not be the president and don't know how to work technology, man. I'm sorry. We see Trump on the other hand. He all in the videos. He posted to his ops, telling him he gonna spin on their block like he on some drill scene. He don't give a fuck. It's gonna be another entertainer for 4 more years, man. Hopefully it be good. I hope. Hopefully for us it be a good thing in the world, in its entirety. You know what I mean? But that's all I have for y'all, man. Just a little quick news break. You know, leave a comment down below. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Y'all think he should have been got out of this race because he losing anyway? Or y'all feel like he need to stay in and fight against Donald Trump? However y'all feel, it's very welcome. But you know, this world keeps showing me every day. It ain't showing y'all. Why I always say, love each other. Till next time, yours truly, HeartBreak.